Good morning, and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host.
Good morning and welcome back to the Farm and Home Show. I'm Kristin Hildebrand, and finishing up this week we have Dr. Ric Bessin in the studio. He's our Extension Entomologist with the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. Good morning, Ric.
Good morning, Kristin.
Yes, now I know we've got a good topic for Friday. It's talking about pollinators. Yes.
Yeah, pollinators and protecting pollinators and encouraging pollinators.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of things, you know, with pollinators in the last couple of years, and kind of name some of the pollinators that you think of mostly.
Well, probably the top of the list is the honeybee, obviously. That's one everyone recognizes. But we have many other very important pollinators here in Kentucky. I would probably put as a group, the bumblebees are tremendously important. There's a lot of plants that depend upon bumblebee pollination. But then we also have some specialists out there that, for example, the squash bee is a specialist and it likes pollinating pumpkins and squash throughout the summer. And it's very, very efficient at doing that. So that's a good one. There's another one that pollinates blueberries, for example, the blueberry bee. And so we have a lot of pollinators. We probably have hundreds of species of wild pollinators here that give us benefits when it comes to agriculture.
Yeah, and butterflies fit into pollinators too?
Butterflies do. Sometimes I focus in on the bees.
Sure, I can understand that.
But yeah, things like the monarch and other butterflies can pollinate certain types of plants. Even hummingbirds can pollinate some plants, and there's some bats that pollinate plants too.
It's really fascinating to think about all the different pollinators and what their role is. And a question is that their population numbers are declining, and why is that?
Yeah, with the honeybees, since about 2002, we've seen declining numbers of honeybees. And we're seeing similar declines in wild pollinators right now. Some of it we do understand a little bit, but we don't totally understand why they're declining. There's a number of reasons why they might. There's parasites and there's diseases they get. There's changes in the habitat and a variety of reasons. One of those reasons, though, is something that is under our control, and that's pesticides. And I'm not saying pesticides are the leading cause, I'm not saying that at all, but it is one of the factors that's under our control, and we should do the best we can to try and protect pollinators from pesticides.
I know you're a beekeeper, that's why you were talking about so many different bees, but what about the colony collapse disorder? Does that kind of play an issue to that decline too, maybe?
And we had a number of years where we had definite colony collapse disorder. But in the last several years, it really hasn't been reported in the United States, even though we've seen continued declining populations of bees. So it is a factor, but right now I don't know that it has been confirmed in a number of years. But it did contribute to their reductions for a while.
Gotcha. Talk to us a little bit about the Pollinator Protection Plan that you have.
That's right. We have a pollinator protection plan for the state. The state apiarist, Dr. Tammy Horn-Potter, was involved in leading that. And it has several components. One is to help educate beekeepers on what the best practices are to prevent damage to pollinators when they use pesticides. A second part of the Kentucky Pollinator Protection Plan would be best management practices for beekeepers. So best management practices for pesticide applicators, best management practices for beekeepers. A third is encouraging planting of forage crops for bees, good, healthy crops that we can plant that are going to help encourage bees and give them nice, quality, healthy food for them to eat. And some of the areas where we might be planting these might be in areas controlled by utility companies, where they can plant some of these forage crops that are going to help out. People that have land that they're devoting to conservation, for example, might be willing to do this. Or you might have some people that just want to help out bees, and we'll put in some small plantings of some of these. But we have recommended native plants. We're always partial to planting native plants here rather than exotic plants, and how to manage them properly so the bees can get the most benefit from them.
Yeah, what are some of your favorite native plants, Dr. Bessin? Do you have any favorites?
I still like goldenrod and some of the asters and things like that, some of the fall flowering plants.
Well, we certainly are glad you came on the show with us this week. And if you have any questions about Pollinator Protection Plan here in Kentucky, give us a call at your local extension office. Hope you have a great day.
If you have questions about today's topic, please call the Warren County Extension Office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.